After a stunning end to episode 5 of 1883, we expected to see this version of Elsa Dutton.
Death is everywhere. It follows us like a stray dog.
But then somehow we got the jaunty version.
Don't bother flirting with me.
Why not?
You're too pretty for me. I prefer to be the pretty one.
I'm Billy Dukes, and what the heck? After just a few days, is she already like, new phone, who dis? When it comes to her ex-lover, the man she was going to marry? Not quite. In fact, I have some pretty solid intel that indicates he'll play a big role throughout the rest of season 1 of 1883. I'm also gonna flat out apologize for being flat out wrong about Elsa's fate on this show and explain where you've seen this guy before. Longtime Yellowstone fans should recognize the man behind the beard, but first, tap subscribe and ring the bell and then take a stab at who you think the new cook is. I'll give you a hint, he's an important friend of John Dutton's on the modern version of the family drama, and if you love Yellowstone trivia, you can find the Dutton Rules podcast, where we try to stump you just about every week. Episode 6 of 1883 was called Boring the Devil. It's a title drawn from one of Elsa's speeches late in the hour, after she has something of a transformation, and after she reveals that she is most definitely not pregnant.
Where you going?
I need some privacy.
Why you need privacy?
I got my period.
Now, I wasn't the only one that thought that her baby was Spencer, the second boy we spotted during season 4 of Yellowstone in that flashback scene, but it seems we're dead wrong there, at least in terms of it being Ennis's kid. So, who is Spencer's parents? I really want to see your guesses in the comments section below because I'm kind of stumped. Early on during this new episode, she has a sit-down with Shea Brennan that I've watched several times.
But that little piece of him is still inside you. And he can use your eyes to see the world.
I've talked about this before, but scenes like this one are what separates 1883 and Yellowstone. This kind of poetic scripting just isn't found in the big show. Sam Elliott kind of told us this was going to happen before the show began, and he was right.
Yellowstone is all over this. We're tainted by Yellowstone, which on some level I can't stand, because I think 1883 stands alone and will, once it comes out, people are going to say, oh yeah, well, the only connection there is that it got John Dutton to Montana.
A little background if you've not watched the first few episodes, or if you got a bad memory like me. Shea Brennan had to bury his wife and his daughter at the very beginning of this series. Both died from mumps. He actually burns his house down and is about to kill himself before Thomas saves him. That's what made him the perfect person to talk to Elsa.
I'm taking my wife to the ocean. And I'm going to sit on the beach and let her see it.
There weren't many tear-jerking moments during this episode, but this is one that got my wife as she watched. Simply beautiful acting, simply beautiful writing. But it only partly worked, because before long, Elsa's at the trading post, pointing a gun at this knucklehead. So she's still got some issues. That was Doan's Crossing trading post, by the way, which is a real spot on the Texas and Oklahoma border. Feel free to do the research there, it's kind of interesting. You might find women there like this shopkeeper that Margaret Dutton encounters, played by Rita Wilson. The two older women enjoy a whiskey punch together, and before you know it...
Can I trust you to stay here?
Yep. This long. As long as this is.
Yeah, old Maggie gets downtown Nashville bachelorette party drunk, and even has a drunk fit for James, but it's all cool in the end. If you're kind of getting a feeling that this episode packed a little bit more levity than previous episodes, you're absolutely right. Thumbs up this video if you appreciated the break. Episode 6 is what I like to call a maintenance episode. It sets up what's to come, and at least one new romance. Thomas and Naomi finally admit their feelings for one another. Turns out Naomi isn't afraid to express herself. There were 2 moons in the Texas night sky on this night, if you know what I'm saying. 2 new characters are going to be joining us for a few episodes, it seems. The first is this guy. His name is Cookie, and he's the cook. I think I can remember that. The actor is James Jordan, and he's sort of the Where's Waldo of Taylor Sheridan projects. You'll find him in Wind River, the mayor of Kingstown. He also played a pivotal role on Yellowstone as livestock agent Steve Hendon. Do you recognize him now? Anyway, look for him to be large and in charge when it comes to the chuck wagon. The other newbie is Noah LaGrosse, who plays a new cowboy named Colton. Colton mostly takes the job because he thinks Elsa is cute, but he doesn't get real far there at first. but something changes in her after she talks to James Dutton, her dad. This is a really dark speech where he talks about killing a lot of people in the Civil War. He's trying to make her feel better about the bandit that she killed.
That man you shot was already dead. Whether we hanged him or he bled out, this time when this earth was done.
James goes on to say, the meanest thing you can do to yourself is hate somebody else. Be sad, miss him, cry yourself blind, you leave the hating to me. And that is why, after just a few days, Elsa Dutton has found the seed of hope again. Yeah, she's not going to be that joyful, naive young woman any longer, but she will bring a few smiles, I think. I thought this part of her monologue at the very end of the episode summed it up beautifully.
Out here, you turn toward the pain as it tears into you, and you let it. When you do, the devil gets bored.
So, does that mean that Elsa and Colton are the new hot couple in town? And see you later, Ennis? I don't think so. Actor Eric Nelsen took to Instagram for a live video where he was asked if his character will return in some sort of way. Here is his very convenient response.
But that's not to say that Ennis can't appear in flashback or memories of Elsa or any of the other characters for that matter going forward.
Eric, by the way, was a guest on an archive episode of the Dutton Rules podcast. As always, you'll find links to that in the description section, as well as some time codes for this video if you need to rewatch something twice. Tap subscribe on your way out and let us know who you think Spencer's mom and dad are below. I'm Billy Dukes for Taste of Country. Thanks for watching.